Come with us now, if you dare, down a rickety staircase into a dank, dark basement. What awaits? The Saturday Night Freak Show.
Hey, thanks for listening to the Saturday Night Freak Show podcast, the movie review and talk show podcast that comes your way every Saturday, whether you're ready for it or not. And these, the voices that you will be listening to, are the internet radio superstars.
Holly.
Michaela.
Sean.
And I'm Colin. And tonight we watched a movie, and it was chosen by...
Sean, what did we watch tonight?
Tonight, we watched Mimic.
From the year.
1997.
Directed by...
Guillermo del Toro.
Who we know.
Who we know. Yeah, you don't have to say who we know from, who we know.
We know.
Who is still known, will be known.
But nobody knew him then.
This is his first English language American film.
Did you guys see Kronos?
Yes, because it's on Criterion.
Is it?
Yes.
I've seen one of them, or maybe The Devil's Backbone.
That's his first pairing with Ron Perlman.
Okay.
Is Kronos. Yeah, and that's why I saw it. Yeah, because I wanted to see that.
And it was his first movie. Kronos was his first movie.
Mhm.
Because I want to say...
What year was that?
92 or 3. It's before this.
Okay, so
just
he's
a
only
little bit before this.
He's only like 5 years into this.
92 is Kronos, and then Mimic is the next one, and then 2001 Devil's Backbone, 2002
Blade 2.
There you
Yeah.
go. And then we get into the
was reading
Hellboy
about
of all. Hellboy, then Pan's Labyrinth, Hellboy 2, Pacific Rim, which I always forget that he did.
Right.
Yeah.
I do like that movie.
He did the second one too, didn't he?
No.
No?
Somebody else did. As it seems to go. Crimson Peak.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have thoughts about that?
Mhm.
I will never see it.
I have thoughts. I like it.
Wait, you're not going to...
I have turned my ire from that movie onto Nightmare Alley, so
I like both
that's
of
my
those.
latest. I hate Del Toro.
I've said before, once you realize what Crimson Peak is, I like it.
Right, but what it is, I'm not really. The gothic romance
it's probably not
is
your
not.
thing.
Yeah,
I get it. I get it.
Yeah, it'll be all right. And then The Shape of Water, I liked it.
No,
I don't like that one.
no.
I like that. That was all right. I don't
like
think it's
it.
Best Picture worthy or
Right,
what have you.
right.
Director, sure, give it to him because it's still a beautiful
Yeah.
movie.
All of his stuff.
All of his stuff's beautiful.
all
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
beautiful.
all going to be beautiful. That's,
Nightmare Alley, which I don't like at all.
I do like that
That movie
one.
disappointed the
I
fuck out of
don't
me.
like that movie.
Yeah.
I
I
don't know.
had the worst trip of my life.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Forgot about that.
The first
yeah.
first act was amazing. As soon as they leave that circus, that whole movie
Yeah,
goes
it
to
needs to be,
shit.
it needs to be the circus. Watch the original, folks. That's the best.
And
version
you
of
know,
that.
just Del Toro in general, my feel is he's just a little too long-winded.
Yes.
Always,
As a long-winded person,
has
I
he
understand
ever made
that.
a movie, a tight 90-minute movie ever?
No, I'm
It's
going to tell you
true.
that
Like,
now.
It's true. If you hear the name, you know
Yeah.
it's going to be long. Yeah.
Yeah, and they just keep getting longer
Well, I
as his
know,
career
yeah.
goes on.
Because even when I'm thinking of like
Because he
Pacific
amasses
Rim
more power.
had like a lot of like extra characters
Yes.
and extra plot stuff and
Mhm.
Hannibal Chan, right? The Ron
Mhm.
Perlman.
That was 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
His first film, Kronos, is 94 minutes,
There you
so
go.
that's probably it. But
Kronos, I remember not being bad, but
Right.
it was kind of unremarkable. Well, no, I mean, I guess the idea that like it was vampirism through like a guy gets infected. It's an old
like a
guy gets
scarab.
infected
Yeah.
by like a mechanical
Mm-hmm.
scarab
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
and then kind of finds a little bit of youth there. I
Mhm.
mean, so it's interesting. And then this was his big Hollywood. So, you know, the Miramax, right? Or the Weinstein Company, I guess, gave him what's the budget on this one? I mean, it seems
30 million.
substantial. So, okay, you know, it's like you made this one movie. I'm sure, you know, Guillermo
Like-
can
like
talk
your
a good
style?
game.
Yeah.
Well, I don't. Yeah, but I don't remember a
Does
style.
anything in Kronos
Right.
pay off in that? Like, you
Not-
see it in this at all?
This has much more of a budget to it. So
Yeah.
you start to see, I guess, you know, what these things that Guillermo del Toro will become infatuated with. I guess he always was, but like, you know, amber and blue lighting. I mean, I guess he's always been interested in like insects and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the production design of machinery
Mm.
and, you know, the intricacies of, you know, that like that little, the case that the cockroaches,
yeah.
you know, like that kind of
Yeah.
stuff doesn't need to be over designed like that, but he does.
That was a literal roach motel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Constructed and everything.
I
Yeah.
was like,
Delightful.
is this a glimpse into Pan's Labyrinth?
Yeah, right. I'm sure there's a whole other movie inside of that little cockroach
Right.
Pan's
structure.
Labyrinth.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was the one. Like, it seemed, you know, from going to see all these movies, it felt like, you know, Mimic, was kind of like, okay, it's a, Dimension Films horror movie of that time,
Yeah.
like Phantoms.
Yes. Yeah, I felt a lot of Phantoms in this movie. Also, but this is very much of the time because it's pulling a lot of Miramax All-Stars.
Mhm.
We've got Marco Beltrami, Scream All-Stars. This is why, one of the
Did
reasons I like this
Marco
movie.
Beltrami just like do all of their stuff?
He was the guy. Like if the Weinsteins had a guy they liked, they used him on everything.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
like, hey, we liked you on that. Put you on,
Mhm.
even if they wouldn't necessarily work for it or were good for it. We loved you on this. Do this too. And so they would just take these guys and use them all over the place. Aaron Kruger got that a lot. I mean, Patrick Lussier, obviously, who
Yes.
edited this movie, got that a lot.
Mhm.
So they like a guy. They use him until, something goes wrong, and they're just like, fuck you, go away.
Yeah.
And then they would get sued later, and then some shit would go on, and yeah. So they'd use them, and they'd use all their juice and then discard them. Feels like what the Weinsteins would do.
I know.
Yeah, they're users.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
users.
Yeah,
There you go.
imagine that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that was always the thing with the Weinsteins, right? Or at least Bob. I remember
yeah.
always
Or
hearing the
Harvey.
story. Were we talking about like on one of the previous episodes? Maybe it was. Did we do Phantoms or Screamers?
did
or
We
what?
did
Phantoms.
Phantoms, yeah.
Yeah.
Where he would like call directors like in the middle of like, I just saw this movie, that's out right
Yes.
now and it's really hot, and you should put some of that in your movie.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you're making
That's what he would
now.
always do.
Yep.
Always known for having maybe too tight a wrap around the projects and not letting filmmakers do what they could do.
I mean, I know
Always interfering.
Guillermo del
Shocking.
Toro disowned this movie and
The theatrical version.
The theatrical
Is that what
version.
we watched tonight?
We did not. We watched the
Oh.
director's cut.
Is there a significant length in time between like
like 6
run
minutes.
time?
6 minutes, but
Okay.
it is very different. You know how we were watching this movie and commenting on the very colorful palette of it and
Yeah.
all that stuff?
Yeah.
Gone. All that gone. It was the thing we
Oh.
complained about in the middle of it, the desaturated
Gotcha.
Okay.
version of it, very gray and all that, very kind of more lifeless.
Oh.
He
Oh.
went back through and put in the blues, the oranges, really up the color palette to
okay.
it. So all of that we loved about it, him and the director's cut.
Because
Damn.
I was thinking, like, I'm sitting here tonight watching it. I'm like, oh, it does look like a Del Toro movie. It's kind of,
Mhm.
it's got those colors.
Yep, that's the
I
director's
don't
cut.
remember it looking that way. I've only seen this once
Okay.
before, and it was opening weekend in
Yeah.
97, right?
Yep.
And yeah, I remember it being a dingy gray movie. And so, wow.
Yep. So there's that.
Oh, interesting.
More of the religious imagery, whatever it was in this, that he brought that back into it.
Mhm.
More of the stuff, more of the relationship between Susan and Peter Mann. There's a lot of
Mhm.
man in this, kind
Yeah.
of on the other side of it. What is that actor who plays Peter Mann?
I remember him from Gosford
Oh.
Park.
He looks a little like Nathan Fillion.
I know him from the Tutors.
Yeah, he's an English guy.
yeah.
Is it Thomas something? I'm not sure if that's right.
Yes, Jeremy Northam.
Yeah,
That's it.
him.
That's it. Yeah.
Yes, Jeremy Northam. Oh, he was in The Net. That's why. I love The Net. He's the guy in The Net where he has his British
Yeah.
accent because he is. Yes. All right.
That's how he played Thomas More in the Tutors. So I only know him with a British accent.
Yeah, An
Yeah.
Ideal Husband, Amistad, The Winslow Boy, Gosford Park,
Yeah.
Enigma, not that one.
Mm.
Yeah, The Tutors,
He-
The Crown. He's in The Crown.
Yeah,
he
he's in the Crown.
seems
Yeah.
very nondescript. Is that
Yes.
cruel?
Yes.
I mean, is it his performance? Is it just?
I'll never
him?
remember it's him in this movie.
Right. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah. There's. I don't know. This movie has some. It makes some interesting screenplay choices. This was written by Del Toro,
Yeah, Del Toro and
Matthew Robbins,
Yes.
because they co-wrote. I want to say a couple of movies because Robbins also worked on what was that one that Del Toro produced? The Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. No,
Mhm.
is that what it was called?
Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. Yeah,
Don't
Be Afraid
from
of the Dark.
2010,
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds like that TV show.
It does-
but
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Mhm.
Are You Afraid of the
Yeah.
Dark?
Yeah.
and they are not this similar. At
No.
all, unfortunately.
Um,
Also, I mean, he wrote Crimson Peak as well. Oh wait, wrote Crimson Peak as
Yeah.
well.
Mhm.
Pinocchio, Ray Gun. Blah, 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 blah.
yeah, I know they've worked on a bunch
Yeah,
of
they worked
stuff.
on some stuff.
But yeah, I don't know. And maybe it's just because whatever the original idea was, it was already
Based on a book.
compromised, and they tried to put it together now for this version exists. This is the one we was under the title Mimic, and we clicked it, and that's apparently his preferred version.
Yes. So it seems like he has snuck this preferred version into. Didn't even say director's cut on it. We're just like, it's longer, so it's got to be, right?
Yeah.
And it was.
Well, I think what the assets of the Weinstein Company got like,
Oh, yeah.
dispersed. So whoever's in charge of it now is like, okay, Del
Right.
Toro. Because I think he said he had like a horrible fucking time making this movie
Oh, yeah.
because of
The overreach of the Weinstein,
Yes.
as it were. Yeah.
Shocking.
Can't imagine them not respecting boundaries. You're
Right.
saying, or
That's why you go
crazy.
back and
acting
look
in a
at
professional manner.
Look at some of the movies they produced. Some of them are minor miracles that they came out as good movies
Right.
back in the day,
Mhm.
considering how
Yeah.
much
Yeah, they
shit
just
had to
wanted-
deal with.
something to come out. I think especially like in horror, I do
Yeah.
get the idea that Bob really kind of did like horror movies, but I mean, I don't know, like what's the best thing Dimension films ever released?
Scream 2.
Yeah, he got Wes Craven.
Again,
working
a
with-
minor miracle.
Yes.
Yeah, because then you go through Cursed. the Wes
Curse,
Craven
Yeah.
where
Cursed,
they
you know.
heavily intervened. Yeah.
Okay, so this movie is going to be about
Cockroaches.
yeah, I was going to say, is it
Mhm.
corporophages? I don't know why I know that from an X-Files episode.
Oh, yeah,
Probably-
yeah.
The cockroach episode?
war
I
with
love that
cockroaches.
episode.
Yeah.
That was so freaky because in the middle of that episode, there was a cockroach that just crawls across the
Yeah.
TV
Yeah.
screen
Yep.
to the other side. I remember watching that when it first came out.
You're like,
Ooh, that was a
oh,
crazy
what the
one.
Yeah.
fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Dude, it still holds up, man.
Yeah.
X-Files still holds up.
Yep.
Yeah.
I haven't watched that in
You should.
30 years.
I rewatched it last summer. I think I'm gonna do another rewatch this
Really?
summer. Yeah, because there's a couple episodes that you're like, "Whoa, I can't believe that aired on TV."
Mhm.
Yeah, some gross stuff. And plus, it's got a good history of writers and directors and stuff in it. It's good. Vince Gilligan comes from that era. A lot of other people do too. It's good stuff.
So, who's in this movie? You mentioned an all-star cast.
Mira Sorvino
Yeah, from Mighty Aphrodite.
and from many other things.
Okay.
But
From
yes.
Romeo and Michelle's High School Reunion.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
I thought about every quote from that movie while watching this.
I haven't seen that one in a long
Oh
time.
God, it's so funny.
Because
So
that's
funny.
Lisa Kudrow as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
As we said, Jeremy Northam, Josh Brolin, a very young baby-faced
Baby,
Josh
yeah.
Brolin, and that man needs a beard.
Yeah, because
He's-
I did read something about, you were talking about how the Weinsteins would reuse people because Brolin was in, I think it was the same year, Night Watch,
Night
Ewan
Watch.
McGregor
Yeah.
movie. Yeah.
I remember that one.
Yeah, they did that. And I think somebody else is in it. Maybe Mira Sorvino's friend.
Yeah.
I believe she is also in Night Watch. And then they like, the DP is from Night Watch. And
Yeah.
a lot of the creative team.
Yep. Giancarlo Giannini,
Yeah.
who was my favorite cop to be killed by Hannibal Lecter.
Right? Yeah. He was also in the later James Bond movies, right?
Yeah, he was. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he was. Oh, that's true. Yeah, he's always a good, like, haggard old,
Mhm.
like, either a cop or he usually plays a cop, but he's very good at it. F. Murray Abraham shows
Which
up in
that
this.
was kind of a surprise, I
Yeah.
guess.
Him and the next guy, Charles S. Dutton. I wasn't expecting him to show up. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But always enjoyable.
The Rock. You know?
The what?
ROC. He had a TV
Oh.
show.
Oh,
No.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it was on Fox. Charles
I
Dutton.
thought you were talking about the Sean Connery, Nicolas Cage. movie.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
And then I thought you were talking about the actual Rock.
No, it was just ROC, I think, and
Okay.
that was his.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then everybody else, Alexander Goodwin and Alex Karamze. I don't know, two other ones at the
Mhm.
bottom, but they don't have blue links to click on IMDb or on
You don't have a blue
Wikipedia.
link.
Yeah.
You don't count.
Then you don't matter. So,
Well, MF Mad, the keeper of the Saturday Night Freak Show.
oh,
Wall
the
of
janitor
Fame.
from Urban Legend is also
Oh,
in this
yeah,
movie.
yeah. And Norman
so is
Reedus.
Norman Reedus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Norman Reedus. Then he Del Toro had put in Blade 2.
Yep.
There you go. But MF Mad wants us to know that we are inducting one of those people that you mentioned onto the Saturday Night Freak Show Wall of Fame, and that would be Mr. Josh Brolin,
Okay.
Oh wow.
who
Okay.
we also saw in
Ooh, wait, hold on.
Hollow Man.
Yes.
Right,
Okay,
right.
yeah.
All right, hold on.
And he
Hollow
was
Man.
the star of Jonah Hex.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot
We
about
always
Jonah
forget
Hex.
Jonah
Yeah,
Hex.
yeah. It's a forgettable movie, man.
Yeah.
I've seen it multiple times, and
Yeah.
sadly,
Did we put Megan Fox on this? Speaking of Jonah Hex, did we put Megan Fox on the wall? Because we have two at least.
Jennifer's Body and Jonah Hex. There's got to be one
Oh,
more.
no, there is the other one. The one you brought. Where she's the robot.
Oh yeah,
Subservience.
yeah. Subservience.
I
Yep.
think we did on that
Yes.
episode, yeah.
Yep.
So welcome to the Freak Show Wall, Mr. Brolin. Your check is in the mail. The certificate's in the mail.
Yes. It's a blank check to send back to us.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we have a well-rounded cast here and a budget that seems a lot.
One more star. Rob Bottin.
Oh, right.
Yes. True
Creature
star.
effects. There are other people that are working on the creature effects, but Rob Bottin.
I know, because this is, I was confused. Because it said, like, did it say creature effects by Rob Bottin or designs?
It said a few things.
But then it said the actual creatures were designed by somebody else, and then the makeups were by somebody else. And I was like, so what did Rob Bottin do? And I know at some point, like, I've tried looking up, like, whatever happened to Rob Bottin. And
creature
he is
effects designer.
creature effects designer.
I mean, was it the picture shop or the creature shop? There are other people who worked on it as well. So maybe he designed it and they put it together.
Somebody else designed the monsters, which I was like, oh, okay. So what did he? But I mean, yeah, Rob Bottin like left the business and like doesn't do interviews and like is off the grid.
Damn.
I don't know, for all the stuff that he contributed to
2002.
horror and fantasy cinema.
Wow.
I think he was like last to work with like David Fincher on, maybe like Fight Club and,
I mean, okay, here's some you're not going to believe. First of all, Game of Thrones in 2014. He apparently did some work on that.
Oh,
But
wow.
before that, Serving Sarah, the Matthew Perry, whatchamacallit, what's her name? The British lady from everything, Bedazzled and
Elizabeth Hurley.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That one.
I went to
Stop.
Emma Thomas
He's a
for
pre-
some
yeah,
reason. I
well,
don't know
that's
why
fair.
yeah,
He was a
okay.
process server. Mr. Deeds, Charlie's Angels. Then we get into Fight Club, Fincher stuff, and all that. But
So when was his last movie?
Serving
So
Sarah,
he did
2002.
okay, so he kept not very much longer after this.
No,
then. Huh.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was out of the game since then.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like off the grid, I think too. I don't think they yeah.
That's
I mean, maybe he wanted to retire.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
maybe
fair.
he's living
It's like,
he's living his
yeah.
best life.
Probably
now. Who
is.
knows?
Yeah.
Probably is.
Okay, so this is a movie about cockroaches and the war of the cockroaches.
And an epidemic
Yeah.
that's killing children,
Takes place in New York City, a very
where most diseases come from.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, because
It's a gross
It's
city.
fucking gross,
And it has big
especially back in the
sewers.
day.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we were talking off, Mike. Didn't Mom Donnie say we're getting trash cans on these curbs? And we
Yeah.
were
Fine.
as people
Like,
who have been disgusted by the trash
you look
situation
at
in New York.
and
Yeah.
it's 2026, and he's like, by 2027 or
Trash
8,
cans.
we'll have trash cans. So
would
we
have
wonder why
thought?
New York was in fucking trouble.
Yeah.
So
Ugh, gross.
Open
And just
trash.
miles and miles of sewers that just shit can grow
Well,
and live in, as it does in this movie.
I love the subgenre of what's living in the New York sewers.
Yeah.
As like a movie subgenre, like
Because you could think of anything.
it goes into
and everyone's
the
gonna
Ninja
go,
Turtles.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's probably living
I
in
love it, but I also hate it.
Yeah.
I very much hate it because it's disgusting.
I know it
It's disgusting.
does
Very.
seem to this. So this is one of those
Gross.
movies that has like that kind of just heavy atmosphere of
Mhm.
like the grossest parts of New York City where things
It's
fester and
So gross.
Yep.
Yeah.
disease comes from.
Yeah.
In this case, it comes from the cockroaches. Explain to me what's happening at the beginning of this.
I forgot what they call the disease, like Strichter or Strickler or something like that. It's affecting children, and they found out, and it's killing them. But they found out it's coming from the cockroach population that lives in New York. So that's how it's spreading, and they have to figure out a way to do it. They don't go into much of how it's killing them or what have you, but we do get a nice, very futuristic look at what it feels. It's like a hospice for children who are dying from this disease. And it's all lined up and lit beautifully. You know, far more beautiful than any sort of like real life shit this would be. But it's in the cockroaches, and they have to figure out a way to, essentially destroy the population, stop the disease from going. So they create a super cockroach called the Judas. What is it? The Judas?
Mhm.
Judas breed.
Yeah.
The Judas
breed.
breed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how does the Judas breed kill the other cockroaches?
It is designed to go down there to spread its juices. I don't know how to put this.
It's a suicide bomber.
Yes, it's a kamikaze cockroach, basically.
Yeah.
With
It goes
with
down
its
there.
excretion. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it excretes. Yes, it
Yeah.
goes down there, excretes its fluids. The other
And then
cockroaches come
dies,
eat
yeah.
it, and then those cockroaches die. And this one is built to have a supposedly
Self-destruct.
self-destruct short lifespan.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So Mia Sorvino is, I don't think she's with the CDC. Jeremy Northam is.
No, Jeremy Northam brings her in
Yeah,
because she's an expert.
she's just an entomologist.
Okay. Or like a geneticist or something, right? Or somehow she orchestrated
She
came up
crossbred
with
until
the-
they came up with the Judas
Yeah.
breed, which
Yeah.
would do this.
I guess there are like, a lot of things in nature that do that, right? That isn't there something like plants that give off certain pheromones that attract insects?
Yeah, we watched
Yeah.
The Happening. We saw that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hence the title Mimic. Okay,
Yes.
there you go. Mimics being a cockroach and then it kills them.
Yes.
And
But
with-
the problem is, as they are going to find out, as I said, life will find a way. But they have created these things in a vacuum. They don't know. And when you release anything into the sewers of New York City, you don't know what's going to happen.
mhm,
And that is what they've done. So they release it. What is it, like 6 months later?
3 years later.
Is it 3 years later where they're like, it's done? It's worked?
Oh,
Or
no,
do we get
yeah.
a shorter
No,
one
it's-
and then 3 years.
It had been 6 months since they hadn't had an outbreak. Like it
Right.
jumps ahead.
It jumps ahead a little
Yeah,
bit. They're
because
like,
remember they celebrate by diving in the bathtub fully clothed.
like you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Because
celebrate.
romance blossoms between the CDC guy and the entomologist.
Right,
Yes.
that's where he met his wife. Yeah, they said they've gone 6 months without a new case of the disease, and so that's celebration, mission accomplished.
Mhm.
So they celebrate.
Although F. Murray Abraham lurks in the crowd of the
Yeah.
press conference
He's not happy
with
about
shifty eyes.
Did you
Mhm.
notice that he pretty much does say life finds a way?
Yeah.
it. He does.
Yeah.
He does.
Like they couldn't
He's-
do it.
He's like evolution keeps things alive. or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
It's the not so.
He had the Timo version of it. Yeah,
It
he had to
is.
find a
It
way
really
to. Yeah.
is.
You're just like, well, we know what
Yeah.
you want to say. It's too bad that someone
Yeah.
nailed it
Right?
beforehand.
You
Yeah.
can't say it. It's
So
been
that
done.
sucks. But there it is. And then we cut to 3 years later, in which the majority of our story happens.
And there's a lot of story. There's a lot
lot of
of
story.
cast members, and there's a lot of different plot threads
Yes.
that are all happening at the same time. I wouldn't say that makes it like difficult to follow, but it does kind of bring in people like F. Murray Abraham, where you're like, what are you doing in this movie? Because
Yeah.
you really have nothing to do. Just drop by for a couple
Mhm.
scenes and say something.
Yeah.
Even Josh Brolin, I was surprised, like doesn't really make an impression.
Yeah.
No, like they could have done the movie without him.
Yeah, but he's also like, we're putting a lot into it. I think personally because it's Josh Brolin and because he had such
Yeah,
a
because
long
then I guess
career.
he
Back
wasn't.
then,
yeah.
like we could have never seen this guy again, and
No.
he'd be a question mark at this point.
Mhm.
he was on the
he
up
just
and up.
happens to be Josh Brolin.
Yeah,
So it doesn't seem like a lot we're getting from him
Mhm.
right.
just because.
So why do all these people become involved in the story in the future?
What pops up that sets them on this?
The Chinese mafia underground
Oh yeah, the
sweatshop.
triad. Right,
Mhm.
right. Okay. So yeah, it's cut to 3 years later, cut to a Chinese man running for his life on the roof of a building. He locks that outer door, and then there's that classic monster scene where there's something huge behind this door,
Yeah.
Mhm.
about to burst it down, and you're just like, oh god, that's got to be big. What's going on here? We won't see it for a while, obviously, but he's obviously terrified and running away from it. Ends up falling off a building, and then gets dragged into the sewer
Oh,
by
hold
some
on.
creature.
He falls off. He does the movie thing where he jumps onto like a paint scaffolding
Yes.
hanging off. Like, I was disappointed the first time I went to New York. I didn't see scaffoldings like this all over the place to have movie
Mhm.
moments on.
Yeah.
And when the scaffolding breaks on one side, a bunch of paint cans roll on the ground. So then when this guy falls, and instead of getting the impact of his head hitting the pavement, his head hits this paint can, which then explodes from the pressure and then looks like what would be his blood coming
Yeah.
out of his head.
Mm.
So it's a great way to avoid censorship but still get the impact.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
And it's
love
also-
it. It's beautiful.
It's one of those scenes that like is expensive.
Yeah.
It's like this is elaborate
Yeah.
for like a
Mhm.
throwaway. I guess it's your key kicking off the movie
Right.
Yeah.
death, but I got that a lot. It was like they are throwing money at this
Mhm.
movie. And I always just sit there like wondering about the economics of stuff like this. Like, did they think they were going to make their money back? It was a hit, I think, right? I mean, obviously
Actually,
it spawned,
It made less, and it wasn't. It made less than its budget.
Oh,
really,
wow.
Yeah,
but
made
then
about,
they
like 26 million. I'm sure. I don't know what it made on home video and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that, but they
But
made
they-
2 direct to video
Yeah.
sequels,
And I heard there was a TV show they were talking about in like
Ooh.
2020 or
Yeah,
something like that. It never
yeah,
How
happened.
do you make a TV show out of this?
You just
The
slow it down.
continuing adventures of
Yeah.
the mimic people, where it's a
Yeah,
different
just
mutation.
retell it, but tell it slow. They made a
Yeah.
TV show From Dusk Till Dawn that goes like 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Was it
Did
good?
they really?
Was
They
it good?
did.
I mean, I saw 2 episodes of it. It was.
Two.
I saw the movie and it did it in an hour and a half.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
exactly.
were
Which is why I'm asking what you do with the TV show.
You
About
slow
this.
it down.
You don't need to.
You don't need to do it.
Yeah,
Don't
a lot
need
of
to.
science shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
We also at this point see a man. It looks like a person in a trench coat. We'll call him Long John because that's what they call him later on in the movie. But just the mysterious figure shrouded in darkness.
mhm.
Just an outline of him.
I thought that was cool.
I love it.
It was very cool.
I love it because the outline. It's very like German expressionism. It feels
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's got that shape to him where he's
yeah.
the squared shoulders, but then he thins out going to the bottom. It's almost like old casket shaped
It's very,
and
it's
shit.
Yeah.
very Max Shrek.
Yeah, it really
yeah.
is. Yeah, it feels like a vampire is just lurking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love that. Like,
Yeah.
say what you will about the movie, and we'll get there at the end. But the design of this movie is top notch. Like, I loved just the atmosphere, the color, the shadowing, and everything. It's really good.
It's got that kind of, I mean, we were saying during the movie, it's like a very 90s, like that's when they did this look. It's
Yep.
the X-Files lighting. It's the
Mhm.
7 lighting
Yep.
where you're doing grungy urban hellscapes that
Yeah.
are just like underlit,
yeah,
Which-
very specifically. But when I saw this lighting and coloring, I'm just like every trailer from Miramax and Dimension from back in the day
Oh, yeah.
just flashed through my head. 'Cause I'm like, it looks like
It's
all
just-
of it.
Yeah.
It's like a warm hug.
Yeah, I know.
There is an embrace. Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, how do I replicate this lighting in my house? Is what I was thinking while watching it. Because like even when they're just talking at their house, which I love in movies when there's 2 scientists together
Mhm.
and you have to know they're scientists even when they're at home because they'll have artifacts around their
Mhm.
house.
Mhm.
It happens in this
Yeah,
movie too.
yeah.
I would love a compilation of every movie where it's like they take their work home with
Yeah.
them,
Yep.
you
They
know?
have bug art and,
Bug-
little jars everywhere. I
Yeah,
love it.
exactly.
But it's
Exactly.
like chic.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's
It's
well
like,
designed.
Yeah.
It's like they got it from Pottery Barn, but it's sciencey.
Right,
It's
exactly.
very- I
Yeah.
love it.
And I
love it.
noticed her desk at work was like that too. Like
Mhm.
everything was bug themed on her
Mhm.
desk, but it was
Yeah.
like designed that way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I kind of want one of those things with like all the butterflies.
Yeah,
To
yeah.
put in my
Up
house.
into the
Like pinned to the phone
Yeah.
and everything.
I
Yeah.
kind of want one of those.
Yeah. to go next to the red string board.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
I was just at somebody's house where they got a little bat pinned up in one of those frames and
Mhm.
everything. And a bunch of
Really?
stuff. Yeah, it was real cool.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Mhm.
oddity shops and stuff
Mhm.
will often
Yeah.
have stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I guess the death of the he's like a Chinese pastor,
priest, yeah.
priester,
Yeah.
Leads to an investigation
because
as to
he's
what's
got
going
like the
on.
yellow fever. There's a yellow fever outbreak. He has a bunch of people like in the basement, and so then it's like, okay, there's disease, and they go down there, and
Oh, I could feel the disease
Yeah. 'cause
emanating
it's like,
from this
it's-
Yeah.
movie.
They've been down there for like 6 years, like, held
Ugh.
hostage with like one toilet and
Yeah.
no toilet paper. It's
Slave labor.
horrible. Yeah.
and there's poop on the ceiling. Josh Brolin is a cop, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, is he?
He's a cop.
Yeah, he's cop.
Okay. For some reason, why did I think he was working with? He was part of the CDC with Jeremy.
I think he's
or-
probably like
or
the
Peter.
cop liaison to the CDC.
Okay.
Any
Yeah,
of these
they're working
jobs
together.
Yes.
but
Any
yeah.
of these jobs that involve the CDC, he's like the first cop
Mhm.
specifically to go to it because I'm sure he's trained with them and everything about
Mhm.
certain stuff. So he specializes in doing CDC cases and all
Mhm.
that. It feels like anyway. So he's seen some shit, literally.
Yeah,
And
and he's getting it tested, and it's like
yeah, and
that's-
he's like taking samples
weird,
and shit and
yeah.
bottling and bagging shit up and all that.
But
So-
that plot thread doesn't lead us to the identification of the bug, right? We introduce 2 street kids who have found, like, apparently they bring bug specimens to Mira Sorvino, or
Yeah.
it felt like they were meeting her for the first time, but they bring the weird bug.
Yeah, they bring
which-
her a bunch of butterflies because, you say it feels like the meeting for the first time. It seems like they have a deal in place.
Well, she
Yeah.
said, you're the bug lady, right?
Oh, right,
Yeah.
they did.
But they're gonna
right.
start some kind of business thing here where they'll bring her a bunch of bugs. But
Yeah.
they bring her this one, and it's a giant, oversized cockroach,
Yes,
which stings her.
Mhm.
or at least latches. Yeah, tries to sting her, latches under her
Mhm.
glove, goes lunges at her. We'll say because this thing is huge.
Right.
And so she pins it, and as she
starts
pins
to
it,
box her.
Yeah,
and it starts to excrete it's juices.
It does.
Okay.
And she's like,
When you
oh
say
my
it, it
God.
sounds horrible.
This movie's so fucking gross.
It is. The movie is
So
disgusting.
gross.
It's crunchy and it's gooey at
Oh
the
my
same
God.
But-
time.
and it's
Ugh.
like, and it's not just like horror sci-fi goo. It's like New York gross.
Yeah,
right? Like
it's grimy.
It's grimy. It's dirty. It's sewery. It's
Yeah.
Dusty.
gross.
Like,
Weirdly
you
dusty
know-
at certain points
Yeah.
too.
You know how they always describe how, there's always like within a random home area, there's always like skin flakes. and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
everywhere,
Yeah.
just stuff that just piles
Yeah.
up. They just microscopic. You don't see
Well,
it.
that's what dust is. Yeah.
Well, right.
Yeah,
This
right,
feels
yeah.
like all of that has collected for years and years, and you're just like
Mhm.
just living in it, and it's just
It's
plumes.
like-
of
Yeah,
every-
but there's,
it's just
I think-
sewery.
Del Toro has that, he knows that's where like,
Yeah.
your squeamish points
Oh, yeah.
are. And there's that scene where they have to, use the excretions,
Oh
the
my God.
excretion glands of the creature to smear it all over themselves. And
well, yeah, Walking Dead would take that.
Even Walking Dead. It's Norman Reedus.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Even the scene where they're at like the water treatment facility, they're like wading through it, right? Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just disgusting.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Yeah, it's always disgusting. This is also when our first. Now this is what dates the movie, but this is where also our first hint of the CGI of the movie comes in with the big bug that comes out.
okay. But I am going to tell you that watching this version tonight, I'm going to say that the CGI looks, whatever they've done to it in the intervening years, it does look better than it did in the
Good.
theater in 1997, where I remember it being like,
I wonder if they did something because they redid this in 4K and it's out now, I believe. I wonder if they went back to those effects and maybe
yeah, I don't know.
juiced them a little bit.
I would say that it looks more convincing
Good.
than it used to.
Okay.
But
Because I thought it didn't look terrible for 97.
Didn't look terrible.
Yeah.
I've seen a far worse.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think it looked worse back then.
Okay.
If
But-
every movie could be redone to bring it up to today's, they can't all be Escape from L.A. Good. Holy Jesus.
Oh God, let's watch that again.
no, I'm good on
All right, I'll
that.
watch it at
We
home.
were all here for it. Can't
Yeah.
watch it again.
Damn. Me, myself, and I.
So these kids go down looking for like an egg sack, because they think that that'll get them more money, and they encounter the creatures, and the creatures kill these kids
Yeah.
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 in the
Two
sewers.
kid deaths.
Fuck them kids.
Like
Yeah.
stabbed through the chest. Like
Yeah.
it's pretty brutal. Yeah.
I know. I was shocked when I first
Mhm.
saw this movie because I guess I hadn't seen kids treated as like
Mhm.
like usually the precocious kids will make it.
Yeah. Even I, having not seen this movie in its entirety, knew that part about this movie that people had said, like, "Oh wow, I'm surprised they killed kids."
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And just like, "Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I'm
and they
intrigued.
are then dead.
Kill more kids."
Giancarlo Giannini, he is
Geppetto.
a shoot.
Yeah.
He
Wait.
plays a shoe
with
shine.
his boy, who's not a real
Oh.
boy, and that's maybe a rough comment on an autistic child, but that is
That is how they
what we're
code
looking at here.
this, though.
That is
Yeah,
what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it's not a Del Toro movie unless there's some sad sack kid bumming around having some character arc that is just shoehorned into this shit. I hate that when he does this
Well,
in his
let me
movies. I'm
ask
just
you
not
this.
into it.
Do we need the kid?
How did that arc pay off?
Not well.
It's just a motivation for Mira Sorvino in the final act of the movie, and I hate that.
Yeah,
I know,
She has no
it's like-
connection to this kid.
I thought that kid would communicate more with
Yes.
these kids.
Yeah.
And there would be an intermediary between
Cut
the
this kid out
humans and the
entirely.
bugs.
Yes.
That's what I thought.
I thought that
Like,
he
he's
was going to
figure
lure
out-
them away, or he would have something to do in the climax
Like
of the
when-
movie.
Yeah, when the kid goes missing, I was into like, okay, so he's gonna be their overlord now, right?
Right. He's
Like
their new god.
something. Yeah.
Get this kid and Geppetto out of this fucking movie, man. They're
Truly
Oh.
don't need him.
Seriously,
no,
if
and
you would,
it's too long
if
as
you
it
had
is.
taken
Yeah.
out that entire scenario and just had Josh Brolin be the Manny part in the
Yeah.
sewer,
Yeah,
done.
Yeah, 'cause
exactly.
That's all they needed.
Yeah, you don't need them. The way
You
they
don't
end up,
need
you
it.
just don't need them.
No,
No.
he could have
Useless
he could have
characters.
been Manny the
Yeah.
whole time.
Well, the whole, I mean, I didn't think you see Manny, that's Giancarlo Giannini, like wandering around through the movie a lot. He doesn't speak much.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know what he's contributing at all to the, he just is wandering around. Eventually the kid goes missing. So I guess we have to explain it. His autistic son can,
Grandson?
Grandson?
or grandson,
Yeah.
sorry.
Grandson, right?
Yep. Can,
Come on.
Grandson.
overhears,
Who's
like
not
they
that
live across from this condemned church. I think the
Mhm.
church where the right at the
Yeah,
where the
beginning.
triad.
Where
Yeah.
the sweatshop was.
Yeah.
And he sees the trench coated figure going in there, and there's a bunch of clicks and whizzes and all that stuff that it makes, and we're like, yeah, I know it's the Judas bug, but the kid can with spoons like mimic the
clicking
sounds that
sound,
it
right.
makes,
Yeah.
and so you're like, okay, later this is going to be a plot device later on.
Really
and,
could have been.
I mean, he does use that to get abducted by the creatures. They don't kill him. And then it's like, the kid's gone missing and Manny has to go find him.
There
So
should
he's-
have been a Close Encounters moment where like they say something to him and then he clicks back with the spoons.
That's
Right.
There's like
Yeah.
world peace,
That's
like
what I thought
yeah,
was gonna
yeah.
happen.
Yeah, right. And then the bug's like, no peace. Like for Independence Day.
Yeah. But since he is basically nonverbal, there's no, you can't have that scene happen.
Right. Plus, he's autistic, and there's no fear in this kid, really. For
Yeah.
most of it, at least when it comes to the bugs, humans, he doesn't seem to like.
Friends,
Yeah.
Um,
really, and it adds to a saccharine moment at the end,
Mhm.
kind of, which we
Ugh,
don't really
hate it.
need. And it's
Don't
just
need
like,
it,
no, we could
yeah.
excise these two characters real easy.
I hate when a movie takes a random child and makes it a random woman's responsibility that she has no connection to.
There's another
Hate it.
plot that really does not matter to this movie, but we'll get to it.
well, I mean,
Yeah,
may as well.
yeah.
That seems. I think that's the biggest addition to this version of the movie is that Peter and Susan
Yeah.
are trying desperately to have a child in a world where like children have just a lot of them have died off.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
they're trying to have a kid and they're unsuccessful at it, I guess, like so far. So
Mm-hmm.
in the end, the movie's going to give them a kid,
Yeah.
an adopted kid, I guess. Even though this version, there's a pregnancy test that says they are going to have a kid.
Yep.
Right. Which doesn't matter.
It
Because
doesn't.
then-
It doesn't matter.
The
Doesn't
ADR at the end, it treats the movie as if that scene isn't there.
Right.
Mhm.
What they could have done, because it does end up being particularly pointless in this movie. They talk a lot about a queen
Mhm.
within this movie. It would have been more interesting if the bugs had sensed something about her, the fact that she was pregnant, and then maybe wouldn't kill her.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
That would have been interesting.
like
Yeah.
just something like that. It goes to kill her, but then it
Yeah.
senses that thing about
Like
her.
they kidnap her and like make her a nest or something.
Something like that. Like
Something
she's
like
the
that.
new queen or something like
Yeah,
that. Even
yeah.
it doesn't go that far, but like if you're going to introduce that element, do something
Do
with
something with it.
it,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
don't have it in there at
Well,
all,
I
and they don't
wonder,
do anything with
because they actually do, like, when you think about it, like there's certain parts of that are set up early in the movie. The bug that she has caught and pinned to her desk, right? And she
Baby.
is a baby.
Yep.
And this creature shows up and invades her space, and like while she's there, and so it's like, oh, creepy, this shadowy dude is like moving around in the room while she's unaware of it and takes the baby. And so that is kind of then I guess a mother. We find out all these things are female. So
Mhm.
you are setting that up. A mother came to protect her young, and then all you have to do is pay that off somehow with Mira Sorvino in the end. But would that be Ellen Ripley?
I was like, but you don't even need it.
Yeah, I understand they're setting it up, but like even with the kid, it doesn't like they do it. It doesn't feel like a payoff. It doesn't matter
Right.
much.
Right.
But then
You
when you
still
bring
could
him
have
back in the
You
pregnancy
still
line, it
could
doesn't
have
matter.
had the creature come and take the baby, and it would have made no difference if she was pregnant or not.
Yeah,
you
no
can still,
difference,
You can
because-
still have that
Right,
in the
yeah,
Right,
movie.
because
Well,
the
yeah.
explanation is the bug
Yeah.
comes for its baby, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Mhm.
Nothing else would
I don't
matter.
need an explanation to tie it together. Like, yeah, okay, you take your baby.
Right.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I get that. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, you could if you were trying to thematically like put her
Sure.
into
Oh,
the,
you could do a
work it
lot.
into the climax, but
They didn't.
they
They
don't.
didn't. They don't do anything.
Which I mean, this is almost a 2-hour movie. You could cut a little bit of that back.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We got
Yeah.
2 characters and a whole plot line we got rid of here. That's a hour
Yeah.
and a half movie I got
Yes.
right now.
It was under
That's
2
like-
hours.
One
Hour and
Barely.
51, hour and
Yeah.
54,
Yeah.
something like that.
Just under. Okay.
Just under.
That's
Felt
like, how does he seemingly have carte blanche with run times when it comes to his movies? It seems like there's never any editing on his movies. It's just
I think I don't know.
I need to
people-
know more about his
I'll-
process.
I'll
I
bet,
guess.
No, I'll bet he so passionately talks to people about
Yeah.
his ideas and his visions
Right.
and stuff like that. They're just like he's able to convince them of what he wants and what he would be able to do. That they're just like, fuck it, take the money and the
Because
time.
But when they-
you said there's only 6 extra minutes in the
Yeah.
director's
Yeah, about
cut?
that. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Wow.
when they watch it later, I mean, these things get shown to eventually the head
Right.
of the company, and a bunch of
Right.
people are watching it, and decisions get made regardless. I think, unless you have final cut, which he didn't.
Mhm.
On this one,
not on this one. He only changed it till way later. But
yeah,
now there's no stopping him. He's an Oscar
Right.
picture
Oh, yeah.
director,
He can do what he
everything
wants.
now.
He
At
can
this point, he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Including
But he did though. He made the Pinocchio movie.
Well, he did that tequila commercial we were talking about like a
The
week or
tequila
two ago.
commercial, which is the
That's
best
really
thing he's
good.
done
It's
in
a really
years.
good one. Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
You know what? It's because it's short. It's probably the shortest thing he's ever directed.
Short, it's
but-
short. It doesn't treat the audience like morons.
Yeah.
So like, look, I'm Guillermo del Toro. This is tequila. I'm trying to sell
skeletons.
this, but here we go.
Yeah,
Here's my
it's-
skeletons.
Yeah, it's delightful.
It's
Yeah.
delightful, and that's what you need to do. That's the sweet
Mhm.
spot.
actually, I totally forgot. I was thinking about it while we were watching it, but there's parallels between this and the Strain.
Oh yeah, the Strain, which he
Uh,
produced for
yeah,
FX.
I think
Yeah.
he directed the pilot
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
whatever. He wrote the
I've
books.
never seen
right?
that.
Ooh, I don't know.
I haven't either.
Yeah, I mean,
Never seen
My
it.
parents
wasn't-
used to watch that movie.
it's
or
not
show.
wasn't bad. It's like a vampire outbreak in New York
Mhm.
City, but it's treated as like,
Like disease?
a
Cool.
contagion.
Yeah.
You know, and so I think it's the
That's a good idea.
CDC
Yeah.
is like
Uh-huh.
working with the police
sequel.
to
Same universe.
Probably.
right.
I always I theorize that the Mothman prophecies is also part of this universe because what is more Mothman than one of these things flying out of
Oh,
New
that's
York,
true.
Yeah.
I
going
like
to
this.
Point Pleasant, and just being the Mothman.
Oh my
for a
god,
while.
the Mothman is just a mimic. Yeah, let's spread that conspiracy theory. You know
As soon as I
what?
saw the trench coat version, I'm like, it's the Mothman.
Didn't the
Well,
Mothman prophecies come out like the year after this?
Yeah, it was somewhere around
It's
there.
like 97,
I mean, I'm
right?
probably close.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's where she has to stop off and see F. Murray Abraham, who's like some kind of geneticist or something like that, who gives her
Yeah,
the
he's a
warning about.
scientist.
But somehow
But
they
philosophical
figure
scientist.
out what the audience knows from the get-go, that these creatures, the cockroaches, then have a sped up metabolism.
Mm.
And so they have evolved in 3 years to be human sized and are now mimicking their greatest predator, human beings themselves. Now, how do they do this?
From the homeless people in that all disappeared within the sewer system. That's that little element that comes at. So they're like, those are the only interactions with human beings I think they would have had at this moment. We don't know the whole backstory and whether the homeless people like banded together to hunt them once they realized that they were coexisting in the sewer system with these bugs. So there's a little bits of the elements of the story that aren't there, but that's what I pieced together. Like there was a war with the homeless and the mimics.
I want that movie.
early on. This maybe it was one of the sequels,
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
knows? But early on, and then again over the years, like they're mimicking their predator, and that's the only thing they really got down there because they would be above over everything else. I would think
Mhm.
that you find in a New York sewer, except for any of the groups of homeless people they came across.
Alligator was in New York, wasn't it?
Right, that's
Chicago,
what-
I think it was Chicago.
Oh, Chicago!
Oh,
God
wow.
damn it!
Okay, that's what
But
I was, I
you
thought
know,
too.
in my imagination, there are gators and all sorts of critters
there's
down in
Teenage
New York.
Mutant Ninja
Yeah,
Turtles down
exactly.
there.
Yeah, when they got to the subway and there was a car, I'm like, there's turtles in there. Guarantee it. They'll figure a way out of this.
Well, they mimic people. It's kind of a cool effect.
Yeah, I do
I don't
like
know
it.
if
Oh,
it's
the
they're
mask
like,
thing?
yeah, it's not their
Yeah.
Yeah,
mandibles,
it's really
but some
cool.
part of their
It's like a
Their
shielding
their
over their actual
exoskeleton.
face. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because every other bug thing you see now, it's just like, how do they blend into their environment or how do they look like another thing and all that. They even talk about it in the movie. But it's really cool when it comes together. It's a big trailer moment. And you see like the two pieces come together and it's a face of a human being. You're like,
Mm.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
oh
cool.
my God. It's cool.
Yeah, because it's like representative in a way, not exact, but like enough that it's
Yeah.
like, okay, that does look like
Yeah.
you know,
Like standing up on its hind legs in the shadows, and you see that face like it looks like a person.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which
So
we see a
that's what
lot
we've
of
been
earlier in the
seeing.
movie.
Yeah. And so they realize that these things are loose. They're down in the sewers, and that probably got to go through the church to find them. And there's several sequences. I think at some point, Mira Sorvino is attacked by, like, that's when you get to see the full-fledged, like, human-sized cockroach in the subway system.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
she's gonna meet Peter because they're down in the subway or down in the sewers, and she's gonna meet him there to talk about what they've discovered and everything. And also, he's got to tell her that she's pregnant.
Ugh, it's tiring.
He's the man with the worst time in the world. Excuse me. So she's waiting for him. And then she, the station closes. I don't think this happens, but the station closes. I'm pretty sure.
Mhm.
I've been in
Everyone
New York, I've been in New
leaves.
York subways real late at night. I don't think
Yeah.
it closes, but they are working on shit. But she's still there. She's gonna wait for him, but she sees a shadow on the wall. Like, sir, do you have the time? No,
Mhm.
not doing this. You don't ask anybody for the fucking time in a New York
No,
subway.
she,
all right?
also left her bag on a bench.
Yeah.
Nothing
like,
about this is New York.
Yes.
This
No.
is all.
Filmed in Canada.
Are you
Okay.
saying that, or do you know
I think
that?
at the end it said something about
Oh,
like
did it?
Canadian.
That
Yeah,
would
so I
make
think a
sense.
lot of
Oh, the
probably all the
production sounds
sets
pretty
were built in Canada.
Probably.
Big, huge sets. So where this is going,
Yeah.
right? So they end up recruiting Charles Dutton. He's a
He's the
beat
cop.
cop
Yeah.
who's familiar with the territory and the homeless population that's gone missing. Josh Brolin goes with them, right? Because this is like
Yeah.
we have to go down there and see what's actually going on. So
I need more people.
you need more. Oh,
If
well, yeah, I
I'm
see what
going
you're
down there, I need more people. Like if we're gonna go into the depths of the sewer, like me
Right.
and 2 other guys, it's just like I don't
Yeah.
feel like this is good enough.
And
Yeah.
a team on the surface waiting to
Somebody,
help out.
I need a rope attached. to
Yeah,
it.
Yeah, I want cops in like the maintenance crew of the subway system.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want
I
other
want-
people to know where I'm at.
Yeah,
Mhm.
lots of people.
Yes.
hmm
Yeah. I don't need here. Yeah. Charles S. Dutton throws his badge to Josh Brolin at one point. It's like, go tell them. I'm just like, man, you're gonna be down there for hours.
Yeah.
Like something's
know.
gonna eat you if it's not the mimics.
What were they going after? Just evidence, or were they actually trying to kill? It wasn't like the officialdom disbelieved them. I don't think they ever really talked to any official. They're not trying to make anybody believe them that this is happening. They just go
No.
like, we have to go down there and
No,
find.
they don't know this is the scale of it. They don't know the big bugs.
Oh,
that
they
are
don't know
out
what
there.
they're going to find down
No,
there.
but they
and
did
then
go talk to people and get permits and stuff to go in there
Right.
because there is. He works for the CDC. He could convince them like there's something going on. We need to check it out
Yeah,
before it
'cause-
turns into something bigger.
Because she's confirmed that it's her Judas bug.
Right. Especially they've gone through a
Yeah.
whole pandemic or epidemic with all this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they'll easily be able to convince people, hey, we might have a problem. Let us go down there
Yeah.
and check.
So they're basically looking for evidence of whatever that may be,
Yes.
either the bugs or evidence of the bugs existing. They're looking for something.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're getting a lot of characters down in the sewers, including
Mhm.
the shoe shiner Manny, because the
Yep.
kid's been taken by the creatures.
Yes.
The cops, and I guess the CDC, the beat cop, Josh Brolin, surprisingly, gets killed by the creatures.
Yeah.
Yep. That's how
Right.
you know he wasn't Josh Brolin yet.
Yeah, as he's
Yeah.
trying to
Guys.
escape from the
Yep. I wanted half of Josh Brolin. Like I
Yeah.
know he gets stabbed in the legs and pulled back down. There's a lot of blood, but and you kind of figure, but I wanted like half of Josh Brolin.
Mhm.
Well, speaking of big sets, I guess what I was saying, like this leads to an abandoned subway transit somewhere. It's like
Yeah, it's a
underground. There's
stop.
businesses and stuff. Yeah. Abandoned in like the 40s or something like that. And this becomes like a major set piece of the back half of this movie,
Yeah.
which I guess I also wasn't expecting
Yeah.
the first time that I saw this. That this is going to be a siege movie that takes place in a subway car.
Yeah. You guys remember Mosquito?
Yes.
Mhm. Yes.
Proboscis.
Yeah, the
Proboscis?
proboscis.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of proboscis talking.
Yes.
No proboscis.
I
in this
know.
movie.
They just have mandibles instead.
yeah.
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 Felt a lot of that considering they were in an RV for like a
Yeah.
good portion
Yeah,
of the last half
yeah.
of that movie.
Yeah.
So a lot of those feelings coming around, but yeah, they are stuck in a subway car. It is a siege movie at the end.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting that.
Well, because it comes out of nowhere that like they can smell the blood, and that's
Yeah,
what draws them. And you're like, I didn't know that before this.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah.
So there's a swarm of these creatures all coming around. There's also it's mentioned that they were bred to have one male creature, and so all the other ones are female. And so then I guess the path to salvation becomes if we can find the male and kill it,
Mm.
then this generation will eventually die out before they're able to escape from Manhattan Island
Yeah.
and
Sure.
infect the world.
Yeah.
Kind of seems like it might be a little late, but all right. You
Right?
know,
Yeah.
yeah.
It should be like, what are these
Yeah.
things waiting for?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
seem mature enough to be like go
Right.
out on their own.
Like
and
I
all
feel
that.
like you don't know for sure there's only one male.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
a
Right.
lot that you didn't know
Yeah.
about.
Right. And we do end up seeing the one male a little bit later. It is. I was a little confused. Like it should have been. It felt like it should have been a bigger moment. The
Mhm.
reveal of just the one male.
Yeah.
Like that would have been the big boss you have to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
'Cause
it
when
doesn't. It just
shows
kind of
up-
drops down.
Which one was? I don't even remember.
Right.
It's the
Yeah.
one that just drops down. Right. Exactly. Which is it doesn't look too much different. But
Yeah,
it's the one
I
that
know.
it's the one that attacks her at the very end is the male one.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
But it's
Okay.
just drops from the top and then drops into the subway and it's just kind of there with
And
the
then
rest
the
of
other
them.
ones are like following it.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't even catch on to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it needed. There was nothing that really told you you this is the
Yeah.
one they were talking about.
Uh-huh.
It needed more of a focus.
I don't think I got that the first time that I saw it. I followed it this time,
Yeah.
but the first time I saw it, I don't think that clicked.
Yeah.
No,
But-
you wouldn't
Didn't
get
see
it because
that.
they don't pay attention to it too much. Again, also with the full reveal of the full big bug, which goes after Mira Sorvino, picks her up and flies her into the thing. That also kind of comes out of like nowhere. It's just like he's been in shadows for a good hour at this point, and now we're just gonna be like, whoosh, there he is
Mhm,
in full
mhm.
CGI form.
Yeah, especially because it had an opportunity to take her in the in
the
her
lab.
office, in her
Yeah.
lab
Yeah,
earlier, and doesn't. And you're like, okay, what are these things waiting for?
yeah. Then it's a full CGI moment. We don't even get, because there's a lot of good mixture of CGI with the practical in this within cuts of different parts of it.
Mhm.
This one is just full
Yeah,
CGI.
yeah.
reveal. And it's just like,
And I think it was a
okay.
trailer moment too, and I remember
sure
that
it was.
looking even more wonky,
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
it being a little more. Ugh.
like relic level.
Yeah, that I
Ooh.
kept thinking of Relic a lot during this
I
as
thought
well.
about that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just like, ooh, another. That one's Chicago as well, but that's another sewer movie with
And very dark.
bugs and yeah,
Bugs.
very very
Yeah,
dark.
Yeah.
So are all of the characters
Well, light it
end
with
up
the glint of your eyes is what that movie was going for.
right? Yeah. All the characters end up converging on this abandoned subway station,
Yes.
and
Yeah, Giannini comes out of nowhere. He's like, the lady needs help, and you're just like, oh, we've cut some scenes because we didn't see him find her, or
yeah, you
all
see,
that stuff. It just kind of comes real quick.
he goes over the grate, and she's down and like, help me, help me.
We don't see him.
Yeah, you see him looking down. It's not communicated well.
Really?
It's
Okay.
there, but
when Manny finds her.
yeah,
Yeah, he's like looking down.
Does he
through the
see
grate.
her?
Yeah.
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 Okay, I must have missed it.
It's like yeah, but that's what I'm saying about this movie. It's
Yeah, because then he
it's
goes and finds Peter and the cop, and he's like, "There's the lady. She needs help."
Right, I just missed that little part beforehand where he sees
Yeah,
her.
he's like looking.
Because
down.
I remember her yelling up to the streets above her. I
Mhm.
don't remember anyone seeing her after that.
it's like the movie isn't doing anything. I was gonna say like wrong in that way because
Right.
it is dotting its I's and crossing its T's,
Yeah.
but the fact that it's not communicating it in a way that you remember it,
Yeah,
having just watched it, you know,
yeah. Needs to
says
hit
there's,
you a little
there's
bit more.
something
Yeah.
wrong with it, and
it's
a lot of
dotting
it,
eyes that I didn't realize were there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that eye is dotted. Look at that.
Yeah,
it's
And,
you
like-
and Beltrami's music is doing a lot of heavy lifting and
is.
making scenes more dramatic than I
Yeah.
think.
that's what he's good for.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, they get stuck in this subway car. Dutton is injured and he's bleeding all over the place. And so then it becomes we can actually resurrect this ancient
Coney
vehicle
Island subway car. Yeah.
by doing a video game quest, which is
Yeah.
This was so video
Oh.
game, and I loved it. So I'm like, I would love to play this level.
Oh,
Yeah.
I feel
no.
like I have.
I'm so tired of having to repair electrical cables in video games. I never want to do it again. I'm
And
so
having to
tired of
Find
it.
the fuse to the fuse box so you
Yeah.
can open the gate and get out.
Oh,
There's
Well,
so
I'm
so
much of
tired
it.
of
I
it.
thought there were two quests. It was like you had to one person had to go
Yeah.
and find the cables, which are still somehow live,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
patch them together, and the other person I thought was going to get the switch and
to change the tracks.
to change the tracks.
Which never happened?
Nope.
Which never happened.
No,
Never
right?
because the whole thing that they plan for and all of this like never actually
Never happened.
True.
happens.
Yeah.
Which I wonder if I don't know if that's budget cuts, but obviously the production couldn't move the train out of the station.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So right,
Yeah.
the station's set.
Yeah, because you can almost do that and still have your ending. Like, it's just that the train at the end that hits the bug is just the train that they were
Yeah.
commandeering.
Yeah.
And then you end up meeting that character after you
Right.
get it moving and everything.
Yeah.
So it's still possible, but
But
could've
why
been
didn't they
cuts.
do it? I don't.
That's a tough
It
one.
doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You just keep keep the focus on your main characters.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we lose Manny because he does find his
Chewie.
grandson
Yeah.
Chewie, and he gets attacked by the creatures.
Mhm.
This
Yeah.
is after the grossest scene in the movie where they have to because I think one of the creatures, like as you do in horror movies, it charges and almost gets in the door as they slam the door on it, and then they shoot it a bunch of times until they kill it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Charles Dutton has the infinite ammo code and
Yep.
just unloads
Yep.
at this thing. So you get a half bug.
Mhm.
You're just
Mhm.
like during some of these, I'm really surprised they didn't go for the whole one person gets sprayed down with the guts, because there was a lot of spraying once they
Yeah.
poked a hole in it and it
Yeah.
was just a big spray. I'm really surprised they didn't get someone just get covered in it.
Oh,
And
they
just be
just
like, "Oh."
wipe it on each other later. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do the
that's so
same thing because
gross.
she, Mira Sorvino, starts digging around in the corpse and finds out that it's got,
got
lungs. And that helped it evolve.
Yeah.
And then she pulls out these gelatinous, goopy, slimy,
Parts.
like balloons of
Sacks.
yeah
There you go.
goo, and then they have to smear this
Goo
all over
sacks.
themselves for a very long time. You gotta smear it all over the windows to keep
Can
the
I show you my
creatures
goo
from
sacks?
coming in, and then yeah. And I think Manny ends up wiping it off of his face when he finds his grandson. That's why he's attacked.
He does. Yes, he does.
And then Peter ends up. I kind of like that scene where he was like trying to put the wires together and he realized there's the thing in there with him,
Yeah.
and then it like crawls over him because it can't smell him or whatever.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
cool.
Apparently they can't see. Are they blind?
I don't think so.
Don't think
think
so,
but maybe
But they can be looking at you. But
maybe you
as
put
long
the
as you
slime
don't
on them. It's
smell,
like the mud. And
it's the mud and
thing.
predator, I guess. Yeah.
Just that. We didn't ever get bug vision.
No,
I'm
it's a bummer.
surprised. Wow. I don't
Well,
know. Is that too cliche? Maybe.
probably.
Probably. It's
Even
1997.
then,
Is it
yeah.
too cliche?
I mean,
When
we
was
had
Alien 3? 1993 or something like that?
392.
92, 93?
Yeah, something like that.
So we got alien vision. I'm surprised we didn't get bug vision. Oh, well.
Yeah. So they get the train car running, but Dutton is bleeding out inside the train, so you can't use it. And then it like stalls out or something.
Yeah, and then it's shitty and hits part of the curb, and then it won't go any farther. So.
Yeah. So he leads the creatures away down a tunnel. And
Sacrifices himself.
Peter then takes that opportunity to put Mira Sorvino and the kid on a dumbwaiter elevator and get them out. But he's going to stay behind because he noticed that the male creature is now there. And he's
Right.
like, this is my opportunity to kill it once and for all.
Yes, because they figure if they kill the male, that's it. Eventually, they will all die, because they're bred to have just the one male. And that's it. So kill
And
him. Kill them all.
I guess the kind of
I still think that's pretty. They have lungs now. You don't think they figure out a way to make another male?
Right, you think they would
have lungs.
Right,
Mhm.
they would. Evolution would continue in some
Right.
way. They
Well-
already made the mistake and thinking that it wouldn't,
Right.
and now they're just thinking, oh, if we kill the male, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Okay.
especially
Which is
because
why we have two sequels.
I guess what we see is the movie opens up even more. He comes into a chamber as he's being pursued by this thing and locks the door behind him. And it's full of egg sacs,
Mhm.
like hundreds of thousands
Yep,
of egg sacs.
but also a bunch more of them, right?
yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's both.
So it's like, okay, we got new ones hatching and we've got a bunch of them in here. This is
Yeah.
home base. And so he, is like, well, I'm going to, bust open all the gas lines and set them all on fire, which he is able to do, thank God, and save New York.
And it's pretty great.
Why is it great?
Explosions? Why are explosions are always great?
Always great.
Yeah.
We love an
and
explosion.
they come through the manholes, like
Yes.
all of New York.
Yes.
Fantastic.
I know.
It is really great.
Yeah.
We
It's
haven't
what
seen
your
anything-
imagination thinks of when you think of like a bomb going off in the sewers of New
Yeah.
York. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the covers fly off. And
Yes,
the flames come
fireballs,
shooting out. It's
yeah.
awesome.
Cars explode.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Pieces of flaming trash are just
Yeah,
on the ground
people
everywhere.
screaming.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
It's
Yeah.
like the ending of Chud, but they actually had
But
the
they
money.
actually did
Yes.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
exactly.
actually went for it and did it.
Yeah, what was the other one? The Blob. The Blob.
The Blob,
That
yeah.
was just
Blob
like
was so good.
Yeah.
The blob
Yeah.
is so good.
yeah,
Man.
Due for a
Um,
rewatch of the Blob. I think I haven't
That's a
seen that in
good
a
one.
bit.
that's a good one, and
Mhm.
it has exploding manholes.
Hmm
Um,
I always think about the guy getting sucked down the sink drain in that
Right,
movie.
yeah.
That's what I think
Yeah.
of. Yeah.
very gross.
That's a good movie.
I always like the cop who floats by the telephone booth
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
with half his face gone. It's always fun.
What a
But
good
this
time.
movie,
Yeah.
with
Oh,
the
yeah.
bugs.
Sorry.
Yes.
And the
Bugs.
good explosion to
there-
end the
Yeah.
movie.
Well, we can't just have.
that should have killed our main character.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
but somebody
yeah.
We don't need
gets out of it.
Even her, it like blows up.
She-
behind
yeah,
her. She, like,
really
goes
does.
flying.
I really want
Yeah.
that kid to just be like, woo! You know how Liam Neeson flies out of the building when he gets exploded in Darkman?
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted for that kid.
yeah,
I wanted him gone.
yeah. So we've given Peter his heroic moment. He's saved
Yes.
the world, but Mia Sorvino has to have
He saved
her
New York.
hero. Well, if they get away, right? It's the first New York, then the world. But we have to give Mia Sorvino her heroic moment before we can end the movie.
I'm not dying for that kid.
No. Why should you? You don't know this kid.
Yeah.
Wasn't helpful at all.
No.
Can talk to the bugs.
Yeah.
Not helpful at all.
So
But whatever.
it becomes one of those because it felt very contrived, like
Yeah.
the creature
That
still
motherly
alive.
instinct took over, and she had to save the kid.
Yeah,
Just because it was a child. Doesn't matter. Just a child
That's how
will do
you all
that.
feel, right?
Yeah.
You see a
oh,
child,
yeah.
you just like, I must save it. And
Yeah.
take care of it. and
well, she
everything,
knew
right?
who he was, like Chewie. And I'm like, did she
kind of, not gonna lie.
know this kid in some way? But I don't think that they had ever met.
Yeah, they met on the subway.
Oh yeah, they did.
Mhm.
She liked him.
He was sitting there.
He was talking about shoe size.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay, there you go. Oh, that's what does it. But
I
yeah,
mean,
she cuts.
If I'm being honest, if it's like a dire situation, it's just you and a kid. Like, yeah, I'm gonna try to help the kid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she does so by cutting her
But I
hand.
would also
so,
help Sean. Like, if you're with somebody, you.
but
help
he wasn't
them.
there. It
Right.
was just her and the kid, and
Yeah.
the creature was in between them, and so she cuts her hand to lure the creature toward her.
The problem is not saving the kid. The problem is that the kid has to be the motivation for her to save the day is what's annoying.
Well, yeah, I agree
That's
with
the
that. I agree with
frustrating
that.
part. It's
and
just
the,
like-
the kid has nothing else to contribute really
Yeah.
to the
No.
movie
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
because we took away any his ability to communicate with
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
And she,
Yeah.
as a character, is more important than he is. I'd rather. Have
Yeah.
They could have done
She
that
knows that.
scene where she's just like face to face with the creature and then sees the train coming. She still could have done that entire scene
Yeah.
Yeah, just flip
without the cut on the hand, without the kid, all of it,
Mhm.
without that.
Well, and if the kid actually
a
had
showdown
Yeah.
without the kid.
Yes,
Yeah,
that
that'll
would have
work.
been great.
if the kid actually had any importance to this movie, maybe the audience would understand why she
Right.
wants to rescue him, but
Yeah.
he doesn't, so it doesn't
Yeah.
make any fucking sense.
Correct.
Right. Like
yeah.
if that kid was more of a key to helping.
Like you
get
said,
rid of
she's
rest
the main
of the
character
bugs.
at this
Yeah.
moment, not him, but the movie wants us to think he's more important in this moment. It just
God.
doesn't make sense with what the movie's been telling us up until this
Right.
The
point.
more we talk about it, the more I hate that kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, he sucks.
He
I guess
sucks.
they're
Sorry, he sucks.
Sorry, kid.
It's stupid. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
So are they using the kid as like because all the kids died like you forget about
It's
it
to
that there was a
raise the
plague
stakes,
at the
yeah.
beginning that like
Yeah.
destroyed almost a
Which
generation.
I don't
of-
know why they always think that stakes need to be raised.
Yeah,
These
exactly.
people need to survive.
Adults in danger is enough.
Right. Yeah.
Or trying to save your own life.
Yeah.
Save
It's
your own life.
enough.
And,
Yeah.
and she's with her husband.
Right.
Yeah.
Like yourself and your spouse. Like that's enough risk for me.
Right.
I
Yeah.
don't need a kid.
I mean,
too.
technically, they just saved all of New York, right? So, I mean, is that not enough
Yeah.
risk right there?
Right?
Jesus Christ.
I mean, we'd have to ask the audience, I guess. I mean, we are the audience at this
Yeah.
point, but people beyond us is like, does that help you that
Yeah.
this kid is in danger?
Right,
Do you feel
yeah.
better about this, or would you be okay with just the main characters that you've come to know and like, hopefully throughout
Right.
this movie,
Mhm.
if you just care about them saving themselves? I'm good
Mhm.
with that. Fuck
Well,
them kids, as Michael Jordan said.
the movie does have, surprisingly enough, a happy ending,
Yeah.
where
For a couple people.
well
They didn't. Okay,
for our main
Yeah.
couple,
Yeah.
I guess they are going to go off and have kids because
Mhm.
both of them survive.
they
Mhm.
didn't kiss right there at the end, did they?
I think there's a
They're
hug.
like-
They
they're
embraced, right?
They're like mushing faces.
Okay,
Mhm.
because I'm
Yeah.
like, no chance in hell are they kissing.
No.
No,
With all
because
that
I was,
shit
Covered
over
in
'em?
that.
Because I was watching
All of
very
them?
closely.
Yeah.
Like
I was
He
too.
was like up in her face and in her hair, and I'm like, that's. So
I'm just like,
disgusting.
do not touch lips.
Yeah.
Because that is, it,
Yeah,
Whoa.
it's too much.
He was already
Ugh.
way too in her hair.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was-
Yeah, too close to each
too
other,
gross.
considering
Yeah.
how they looked for the past hour. Ugh.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm sure
And
the
the kid-
smell is.
The kid hugs them,
Oh fuck.
and we're like, fade out, and
Yeah.
they're going to be a happy family.
But he
Oh no,
doesn't
that, hope that
say
kid gets adopted by someone else.
he doesn't say you're pregnant. He says we're gonna have a baby.
Right, which
Yeah.
is very confusing.
Yeah, it's an ADR moment we didn't need at the end of this. Like, again, this guy's timing is horrible.
It sounds aspirational, not like an actual fact.
Right, like
yeah.
he's telling her,
Yeah.
like he's threatening her. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna have a baby. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't really
And
want
And
to have one
also,
right
and
now.
also
It's-
you're hugging this orphan kid. So are you saying we're
Because I
we're a
don't-
Right.
family now?
yeah,
I don't. Did we go over that? That he found her pregnancy test in the trash.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
Who picks a pregnancy test that has already been proven negative, according to them, out of the trash? Just
Because I think he looked at
he
it
looks
like,
he
wait,
saw
it
it,
has
he
yeah.
this-
looks down and sees it. 'cause
Yeah,
it's,
and then he
a,
picks it
it's
up.
a big test.
Yeah.
it's a very large
I like
test.
the way that everybody always handles those things. in
Like,
the
their
movie.
hands are all over.
Like, you know,
Okay,
yeah.
you guys say that, but Holly and I watched a show where a woman to tell her family she was pregnant baked a positive pregnancy test into the cake and served it to her family.
Is she in
We
jail?
watched it.
She should be in jail.
No, she thought it was funny.
She should be in jail.
That's
she
how
should be
she
in jail.
told her family she was pregnant. They
Nope.
cut into a cake and there was a
If
pregnancy
you
test.
make
in
a
it.
cake in the shape of a pregnancy test and then and then like when they're all there, you like icing the part that says positive.
That would be
or
really
negative.
funny.
That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
put the fucking test in there.
Yeah,
like he was
people are-
tapping it on his head.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
He was like,
Yeah. There's piss on that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh,
that's a tool that's been used. Get away
Yes.
from your fucking face. God damn it.
Yep.
This movie's gross.
Yeah. So gross.
So gross.
On so many levels.
Kudos to you, Mr.
Yeah,
Del
bravo.
Toro. You did make it gross,
Bravo
a very
to
gross
everyone
movie.
Me
involved.
the fuck out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's Mimic. I guess we're going to go around the table and tell you whether or not we would recommend that you watch it. But before we do that, we're going to answer some of your mail. And to do that, we're going to have to summon our mailman. His name is Igor. Bring us the mail.
Masters, the mail. I've got the mail. So many letters. Our followers are rising.
Why, thank you, Igor.
Thanks.
Do you think he's been to the Chud neighborhood, the underbelly of New York? Is that like a vacation destination for his kind, like a resort? It's like Wisconsin Dells?
You know when you get together in the family reunions with your distant cousins every now and again? I think the New York sewer system is where they go.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Okay.
'Cause, like, you get to all the different people, and I'm bet one of these a mimic and a chud showed up to that reunion.
Right.
Yeah.
Guarantee it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How come they haven't remade Chud yet? You think they'd
It's
busy
ripe.
every-
It needs some
Truly.
improvement.
I mean, they've
Really?
remade everything else, for the love
Yeah.
of God.
Yeah, why not?
Jordan Peele will do it.
Yeah.
He loves that movie.
I would watch his version.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But
I
it was
want-
us.
Yeah, he hasn't gotten to
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He,
like
yeah.
goopy
True.
monster horror. I want
Yeah.
him to get into that.
Mhm.
That'd be good.
How long ago was Nope?
A couple years ago.
Yeah, a couple
yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we should let the good folks at home let them know how they can participate on this interactive portion of our show by following along on Facebook,
Facebook.com/Saturday Night Freak Show.
on X,
At Sat Freak Show.
by email,
CenterFreakShow@yahoo.com.
and on Instagram at Saturday Night Freak Show. Brian Nelson writes in and says, this is just for a heads up, for the love of God, avoid Night of 1,000 Cats. I know it's a running joke that Sean brings all the anti-cat films, but Night of 1,000 Cats has real violence against cats.
Oh,
Okay.
is this the
God.
Mexican movie I mentioned last week?
Oh no, yeah.
Didn't you?
I
'cause
said-
it
I
came
said-
up as a,
Right, I said
Yeah.
it was Night of the Bad Cats. It is not. Mill is I think
Yeah.
1,000. Night of
Yeah.
1,000 Cats. Really?
Oh, yeah.
damn. Well,
Can't do
damn
that.
it.
Okay.
All right, I appreciate you
Yeah.
letting us know.
Thank you. We're never.
But
watching
also,
that.
sorry you had to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit. What do you say about it? It's not
Real,
good.
It's
real
got
violence.
real violence
Oh,
against cats.
all right. No,
Yeah,
we don't want
no,
that. We don't
we're
want
never
that.
watching
No,
that.
thank you. I
Thank
appreciate
you for the
that.
warning. Yeah.
Thank you.
About tonight's movie Mimic, Richard Krotzer writes in and says, I love that you're doing this one from Del Toro. It has one of my favorite openings. It's so creepy. I'm not exactly okay, so I did practice this, but I'm gonna screw it up. Cat's aridophobic. Cat's aridophobic,
No.
which he wished me luck on that. A fear of cockroaches. Really? Is that it? Cat's
Let's see.
aridophobic?
What's is it spelled?
Catsaridophobic. The fear of cockroaches. There you go. That's what you've got. If you, so
Katsuritophobic? Katsurita?
it could be.
Something like that? I don't know.
All right. He says he's a notch below that, but they're my least favorite creatures on earth.
I knew
Childhood
it.
trauma, I guess. Oh boy. But
Oh,
this
no.
movie really hits all of my horrific buttons. I understand that Del Toro wasn't exactly happy with the movie, and I can only imagine how his true vision would have turned out. But this is a really great flick, in my opinion. And by the way, is experimentation of these creatures and the chuds the reason that we have Igor? Just speculating.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all in the family.
Michael Whitaker says, I remember seeing the trailer for this and thinking it was cool that a B-movie premise like giant bugs attack New York City could still work in modern movies.
Yeah. It really is it is funny to think of it that way. Think of Del Toro directing a giant bug movie.
Right?
Yeah. And a couple weeks ago, we watched a movie called Hider in the House, and boy, with the Jason tattoo says, I just got done listening to your Hider in the House episode. I can't wait to watch it. It reminds me of a TV movie I used to watch as a kid called Bad Ronald. How many times in my life have I
Oh,
heard that title?
yeah. I've
Bad
heard that
Ronald,
title
yeah.
too.
Actually seen
No.
the
Yeah.
Okay.
movie. Yeah, he lives in the wall.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've heard
We're
that
gonna have to
title a
check
lot.
it out. We're gonna have to because we've watched 2 Hider in the Walls
Yeah.
movies now. We gotta watch a couple more.
Yeah. Clicky Bones with
Yep.
the boy and whatnot.
Mhm. Clicky Bones.
Yeah, Clicky Bones. Every time he showed up, he was Clicky
Oh,
Bones.
She did have clicky bones. You're not wrong.
Well, we
He's
thank
got spinal issues.
all of you for writing in. We really appreciate it.
We do.
And now we're going to go around the table and tell you what we thought of Mimic, starting with
Colin, what did you think of Mimic?
I was appreciative of this opportunity to see Mimic again because I saw it when it came out. Didn't know who Guillermo del Toro was, so it was just that week's movie,
Which is
horror
funny
movie.
because you resemble him just a little bit.
Yeah,
I think so. You guys not see the a little bit?
A little bit.
Little
Tiny
bit.
bit.
Maybe like a distant relative or
Okay.
something.
Distant American relative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
I didn't like it when I first saw it, and the impression that I had the first time was it was dark, it was dingy, it was grimy. It didn't I don't know if it was miscast or the characters just didn't land. I didn't remember, certain aspects of what they were contributing to the plot, and so I kind of wrote it off. And then over the years later, it's like, oh, this guy Guillermo del Toro did that, and so then you go back, and I guess this is a reevaluation of it. I've stayed away from it because I didn't like it. It looks a lot better than I
Yeah.
remember it, as we said before, and now finding out from you, Sean, that they retinkered with all the lighting, it's like, okay, so it's still a very dark to look at film.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun with just the gooiness, the griminess, and the general disgusting atmosphere of it.
Mhm.
But I still think there's just problems with this movie on a scripting level. I just don't like it. I mean, I can see that it's like a well-produced film. But yeah, it just, I don't know. For that, I don't know, would I recommend it based on like the effects work and all that? I mean, you get to see an artist in bloom, right? But I think it's the worst Guillermo del Toro movie. Yeah, I think this is my pick for worst del Toro movie and the one that you could skip, believe it or not. And I know a lot of people point to Blade 2, but I actually kind of like Blade 2. I like Blade 2 in some ways.
Oh, I thought people loved Blade 2.
Yeah.
Is it not its reputation?
No, I don't
I always
think
thought
so.
people thought highly of that movie.
Yeah, but I mean, even that has that one feels more like, I guess he's like into his he's kind of got his style down more so than this.
Is that one of the Blood Rave? Or is that the first?
That's the
the
first
one.
one.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know. It just kind of, especially by the time we got to the train car, I was like, this movie is just going on forever and ever. And maybe that was because there was some kind of, all the disparate plot lines had some form of inertia in them. And it's like, yes, things are happening, but like I stopped caring a while ago. And I think part of it, also the problem is, we know off the jump that it's like, yes, these things are going to grow up and they're going to mimic human beings. And we are being explained how that's possible for like an hour and 30 minutes before the characters actually figure that out.
Mhm.
And that was also kind of like, yeah, I got it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, they have lungs, okay. I don't know. So I didn't like it. Holly, what'd you think?
Yeah, I kind of agree with a lot of what you're saying. I was into it for the first act for sure, and then I think halfway through the second act is when I was like, okay, you're kind of losing me, and then third act you lost me. I was gone for most of it. But I did like the explosion at the end.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
End it well. Send them home happy.
Fantastic. Ended on a good note. Well, until the hug with the "you're pregnant" thing. But,
Yeah.
Anyway, I enjoyed the '90s feel of it. I had that nostalgia moment throughout the first part of the movie. I did enjoy that. I like Mira Sorvino. I miss her. I want her to have a comeback. I want her to have a resurgence. I'm torn. This was a really disgusting movie, and not like the gross stuff that I think is fun.
Yeah.
It's the gross, like the grossest, right? It's like it's all the things that are just like sickening. Oh gosh, I don't know. I did really like the first act. I was really into it for a while. But then yeah, after a while it lost me. It's not fuck.
It's too long.
I know it is too long. That's it. It is too long. I felt the
And obviously
2
too
hour.
long.
Obviously too long. It did not need to be that long. A lot could be cut. Characters could be cut. Yeah, I'm gonna say pass, but it's not a hard pass,
Right.
Because I did enjoy the first part of it. I like the explosion. I like elements of it. It's got a good '90s feel. Yeah, not a hard pass, but I wouldn't watch it again, so I'm gonna pass. Michaela, what'd you think?
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you said. Man, I really hate bugs. Like, I hate bugs, and so like it for me, I guess it is good subject matter because I do hate them. But it's they're just the crunchy and gooey at the same time is really just should not exist in one
Yes.
creature that way. And it's just it is. I agree, Holly. It is so disgusting, and you know that does give it a lot of points. But man, the runtime really, and this is. I experienced the same, like, I agree with you. I experienced the same wave of emotions every time I watch a Del Toro movie. The first act, I'm like, this is perfect. I love this. This is his best movie of the year. And then I get to the second act, I'm like, oh, the momentum just hit a wall and we're spinning our wheels and I'm bored because this movie's not going anywhere anymore. And then the third act, I'm completely checked out. I want it. Sometimes I even like want to be like, I don't even want to finish this because I get so checked out. And then I could leave the movie being like, well, I didn't totally hate it, but
Right, yeah.
I don't know
like
if I
if
want to
we-
watch it again.
Right. If we got to a certain where the momentum
Yeah,
stops, if we got
yeah.
to that point and then you just like, hey, it all turns out all right for these characters, you'd be like, all right, I don't need to watch the
Yeah,
rest. That kind of feels like it.
Yeah.
It's just, man, it happens every time with his movies, every single time. And I want to like his movies more than I do, but now I'm just at the point where like I have no expectations for his movies because they all follow the similar pattern. But
the stuff that I like, I usually really like.
yeah, I agree.
Like,
and
like Frankenstein, I was like, there was
Right.
a lot that I was like, yes.
that's another movie I
really
felt
liked
was
it.
way too long. And
It was
could've-
too long.
Yeah,
it was
you know.
absolutely too long.
And that one too, they had a perfect like first act. I was
Yeah,
so invested.
good.
I was like more invested in Victor Frankenstein than Frankenstein for a good long chunk of
Right,
that
yeah.
movie. But that's a whole other thing. But
We touched on that already.
yeah. But you know, bugs are such a good villain. It is so gross. So I agree. I'm a little torn, but I don't think it's just so frustrating in its other ways. I don't think it's worth watching. So I'm gonna pass. I was gonna mention, have you guys seen those videos? Like the Instagram reels of like POV, you live in New York and you're going on vacation, and it's like they go around and they put cups over all the like sinks and drains in their house. Because I guess in New York, if you don't run water for a few days, bugs start coming up through the drains.
Ugh.
Gross.
Yeah.
I believe
So
it.
gross.
The one time I was in New York, there was a cockroach on my shoe that was 3 inches long.
Ugh, yeah.
Yeah.
And when they're out in the open, like crawling over your feet like that, that's a whole
God, it
other
was so
thing. Yeah.
gross.
Yeah, I'd
Yep.
scream like a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no problem there.
Yep. Pass.
I want that quote on the front of it. Bleh, bleh, bleh. Michaela.
Yeah.
And then pass.
And then
Pass.
pass,
Yeah.
yeah.
Pass.
Man, this what a trip to watch this movie because it is Miramax of the 90s, which sometimes it's a warm feeling watching movies like that. Plus, this one's got all my favorites. Like we said, Marco Beltrami, Patrick Lussier. It has the production design and vision of Guillermo del Toro. I think it looks pretty great. The design, it is gooey. Robotines, got a hand in this. I do like the monsters, but you guys are all right. At a certain point, the momentum just hits a wall, and then you're just like, wow, what are we doing here? And because it's so very easy to identify things that you can cut real easily out of this movie, you're just like, why did we do this? Like, you could lift them and we'd be fine. It ultimately ends up being, and there's also a thing about the big bad just being bugs. Like, their motivation doesn't change from the beginning of the movie to the end of the movie, and that's kind of boring because they're bugs. They're just doing the one thing. They just breeding, make more of them. It almost becomes uninteresting.
Was I the only one that was disappointed that it wasn't more of a cockroach man?
More man, like more
yeah.
more human.
I wanted it to be more like a humanoid kind of.
Yes, I wanted
situation.
that gap bridged more.
Yeah.
I felt that when I saw it in the
Yeah,
theater. I was like,
when
it's just a giant bug.
When it
Yes.
really was revealed that it really was just a big bug and it flew and lifted, I was like, oh, I thought it was going to be Cockroach Man.
Yes, I think that is the disappointment we all get to at a certain point where we realize, oh, it's just gonna be big bugs.
Yeah.
Like the evolution doesn't go as far that would make it interesting,
Mm.
where it is humanoid, and maybe they could have
Del
like
Toro's a monster guy.
right.
Right.
Right? Like,
And so these characters can't really like communicate with it in a certain way that like for both sides to realize what the friction is between them, and it ends up just being bugs. They're cool. We love a smashed bug, and it's goopy and gory and all that stuff. But again, the interest just falls off a cliff at a certain point in this movie.
Yeah.
It is far too long. Give me an hour and a half version of this, and then maybe thumbs up in it. But it just happens to be too long. The fact that we got this version out of it, though, considering what went on behind the scenes with the Weinsteins and everything, again, good for him. I'm glad he got a film out of it that he's okay with. That he's just like, all right, good enough. I made peace with it. But it's still just like it's just too long.
Yeah.
And it ends up being just a little repetitive and boring at the end because it's just like, okay, it's just bugs. I need a little more. And fuck that kid. So I'm not mad at the movie, but I am gonna pass on it because I can't recommend someone take 2 hours to sit and watch this movie and not be fully satisfied at the end of it. So again, this is some real good stuff to like here. Just doesn't quite cross the finish line. So I'm a pass on Mimic, but I'm glad I went back and finally like watched it.
Yeah, I had never seen it. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that we did it.
Yeah, so I'm glad we did it, but and we do it so you don't have to. So it's a pass from us.
I'm actually kind of surprised that it all went that way.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
All right.
And I honestly didn't know which way I was gonna go.
Yeah, I still kind of feel a little Fence City about it, but
it's
you
tough.
know,
Yeah.
it's
But I'm not gonna lose any sleep over my decision here
Right.
tonight.
I
so.
feel like you're grading on a curve with Del Toro. The expectation's so high. We're judging at a different level.
Yeah.
And almost 30 years later.
Yeah.
Woo. Yeah. All right. Well, that's Mimic. So next week we're gonna watch a movie that's chosen by
Holly, what are we gonna watch next week?
Interesting question. I had my pick all chosen. And based on a conversation, I thought, man, am I gonna pull Hail Mary here? Like,
Fate intervened, huh?
Fate intervened.
This happens to us here on the Freak Show. Fate does intervene.
I never thought I would invoke this rule, but I'm invoking it, and I'm gonna say we are going to bring back Masters of the Universe to the Freak Show because
Awesome.
3 of us were not here for that.
Yes.
It's been more than 5 years.
Yes.
So we're saying the 87 one, not
Yep.
the new
The
one.
1987 Dolph Lundgren Masters of the Universe, one of my favorite movies of all time.
There
Oh
we go.
boy. Okay.
I've done it. Colin's done it. Holly's done it. Michaela.
All right.
It's on the table
Get
for
mine
ya.
up.
Here we are.
See, I knew it. I knew when I forced this bylaw onto all of you that one day would work to your benefits.
All right. Well, that means we're rewatching Masters of the Universe next week on the Saturday Night Freak Show. We hope you'll join us. And until then, ladies and germs, the basement is going dark.